let's have a warm welcome for, will Ricardo be starting? I don't know. But for you, or some of you, or all of you,
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. That's scary here. Well, my name is Ricardo. I'm the new liaison with the local government for the expats. Used to be Aurora Michel. Maybe you know her or you met her. I used to be working for almost 20 years here in Ajijic in Multipa Bank as a banker. But then I'm retired now. So I'm working for the local government now as a liaison with the foreign community. We have a new office in Chapala downtown for all the expats. Maybe when you go to Chapala, right on the corner on the old building, the yellow one, there's the 3 flags. We want to put more, but it's US, Mexican, and Canada flags. There is my office to attend to all the expats. The president, the municipal president, the mayor right now, he's kind of he wants to be more in contact with the expats, with the foreign community, because the foreign community represents big help, economically, cultural, social, and we know that there's more than 100 organizations that helps in a different way. So your presence in our municipality for our mayor is very, very important. That's why it was created, this office. I'm going to provide you at the end my business card where there is an email address. There is my personal phone number. And what I do, or how can I help? We're gonna provide you to some kind of WhatsApp phone number where you can report whatever problem that you can see. Something is in English, okay? And that is the phone number. On these ones, you can report if, for example, in your street, you don't have a light that is working properly, you can report it to this number. Or you have a hole on the street, which is very popular. It's called bache in Spanish. Or things like, do you need a tope? You know what a tope is? Oh, yeah. I'm sure that you know. So all that kind of things or problems that you can see on your streets, you can report it through this number. Or if you have an emergency, we have different phone numbers. I'm going to provide you with all the emergency numbers that we have in our municipality. For example, we have the mayor's office, TIF, Chapala, water. If you have no water in your house, here is the phone number. Police, traffic or transit, police. If you have an accident in a car, where you have to call. Here is the phone number. Fire. If you have a fire close to your house, as you can see, we are having that problem during these months. before the rainy season, we have a lot of fire all around. So there's, it's called Protección Civil or Fire Department at el Libramiento. Red Cross, if you fall in your house or you have an accident or whatever, you feel bad or something, you could call an ambulance and they can be in your house. The other ones is Centro de Salud and Clínica Municipal. But basically, this is to put it on the refrigerator. Okay. I have not enough, but I promise that I'm going to bring more. I'm going to bring more as soon as it's ready. But I have like a 20. Okay. So you can share the numbers with everybody. So basically, it's this position as a liaison with the expats is not normal in the rest of municipalities because they don't have the amount of expats that we have in our municipality in Chapala. It's a big community. I don't know exactly how many people expats lives permanently here, but could be around how many, Steve? Muchos. Oh, yeah, so it's thousands, more than 10,000. Yeah, and plus the other expats that they come for, they come 6 months and they go back. How they call the
Snowbirds.
This office was created basically to be in contact because you are very important for our municipality, as I mentioned. And it's very important that you be in contact with us. If you have a question, if you have an idea to help, we are ready. And as you know, our mayor right now is Alejandro Aguirre for 3 years. That is over this year, but he's running again. And there is a big chance that he wins again. So it's going to be the same president for another 3 years. So basically, that's the office ready. If you want to do it through email, I have enough business cards to everybody. So you can send me an email and I answer to you if you have questions about all the benefits, because there are some benefits that you can have through the municipal government. Some people ask me if they can get an INAPAM card. Yeah, you can do it with your Permanente card. And there is a place where you can apply and get discounts everywhere. And another thing that
what is the
but
what is
where is it?
what is it? Yes.
What is it? Well, it's a card that you receive a discount if you go in a flight or get a bus or pay the taxes of your house.
Yeah, if you're old.
If you're old, you're gonna be 60 and more. And if you're less than 60, you cannot get it. I almost get it. Almost get it. Yeah, and there are some benefits. Another thing that I found, because I have not many time on the office, is that many people ask me if they can receive their pensions from United States.
I go to a certain location. It just depends on the situation, so it's not always the same. Oftentimes, if you're involved in an accident and you're injured, the police or the traffic police will make a determination. They will call the ambulance and the ambulance will take you to what's available. Now, if there is a type of, this is the first time I ever heard that, if there is a complaint, I will write it down in a second, and then I will definitely investigate it. The commander of the Lorenzo, which is a guy over public safety, which has the ambulances, but there's different ambulances also. The hospitals have their own, Red Cross have their own, municipal government have their own. So it just depends, but let me look into it, and if you provide me with your number when we finish, I will provide you an answer.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. How's your family?
My family's great. Thank you for asking. But we haven't met, so you have to start with your name first.
Estrella. Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto, Moises. Nice to meet you.
What is the function of the building on the plaza here in Ajijic? I see maybe police when my purse got stolen and I went in and there was nobody there. So I'm just a little curious.
Yes. Every little town in Chapala is called a delegation. Delegation. A delegation of the municipality. So Chapala has one, San Antonio has one, Ajijic has one, San Nicolas has one, Santa Cruz has one, and Atotonilquillo has one. We have a person who's assigned there, there's the leader of the town. They deal with cleaning, they sweep the plaza, they take care of Malecon. You can walk up in there and make a complaint. Normally those locations are manned by police. Usually they have one or two. But of course, if they have something to do, they might have to go get something to eat, or they might have to go answer a complaint, they won't be there. But it's a delegation and they deal with problems in the specific town. But the main government office is in Chapala. But if you get any complaints, you can also make them there. There's a delegado, he was supposed to be here this morning, but something happened, he didn't show up. The ones in Ajijic, the delegado in Ajijic, his name is Timothy Aldana. He doesn't speak English, but he has people that do. His son is very fluent in English. They were supposed to be here, like I said, but that's the function of that delegation, that office. Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Gusto, for you. Contrary to the U.S.,
Let's put it closer.
contrary to the
There you go.
U.S., it appears that my understanding is that state law takes precedent over federal law here. And is that true of municipal law taking precedent over state law?
No, sir, I never heard that. It's just the government here in Mexico is just like in the U.S. Federal, state, municipal. But like I said, the municipal part and the municipal area, we deal with code enforcement rules and regulations. We don't have, if you're involved in an accident, the state police usually investigate it. For example, the transit section, in Chapala we have a municipal section that helps out because it was taking them forever to come to Chapala and answer all the accidents that we have because we have a lot of people that don't know how to drive.
The question that my neighbor who had a service dog, and according to Jalisco state, service dogs count as a dog regardless, whereas the Mexican federal government says they don't.
Well,
And this was a situation where they're renting a
right.
place.
I'm not going to tell you I'm an expert when it comes to service dogs, but service dogs are not as important or we are not as familiar in Mexico as a service dog as we do in the U.S. Okay, because in the U.S. you can have a service dog almost anywhere. Here, I never seen one. Okay? You're welcome.
Morning.
Morning, ma'am.
I don't hear it. It's on, okay.
We can hear.
Can people reserve sections of the street for their parking?
No, ma'am, they
I
cannot.
recently had an experience near La Huerta on Ocampo where I had parked. Very careful not to block their driveway. And I went to visit someone at La Huerta and I came back and the owner of the property fronting there had put her car flush against my car so I could not get out. And she was standing there very huffily saying, "You are in my parking place. This is my house and this is my parking place." And you know, like you say, treat people like you want to be treated, so I didn't rise to her bait.
Excellent.
But it was very irritating, and I thought, how can she assume that a street space is her private parking place?
I agree with you 100%. The streets belong to the municipal, the people who take care of the streets. Your property starts from your wall in. They don't own anything. The only time you have to be careful is do not park in someone's driveway because your vehicle will get towed. Or another thing that happens, actually there's a perfect example right here in front of us. When you come out this door, but I think it's locked today, there's an area right there that says no parking. The lady that lives there, she filed her permit with me when I was first in that area. And the reason why she has that area blocked off is because she pays a fee, a monthly fee, and they gotta pay it yearly, because otherwise she won't be able to use her parking and her cochera, right, her own garage. Because people will block her, and since the streets are so wide in Ajijic, she's not able to make that turn. That's why she pays close to 13,000 a year, pesos.
Mark it though with yellow paint?
Yeah, it is marked. It's marked, but people still don't listen. I mean, I have towed many vehicles from that location because they look, it's a space, oh, I fit right here. And they park, but they don't pay attention. And there's a lot of places. Now, there's a lot of places also that are marked with yellow.
But it's not official.
That is not official, okay? Because when we did Morelos in Chapala, I was still in that office. I'm walking one day, and of course I don't look like someone who works for the local government because I don't shave. That was one of my pit. You know, I told them, hey, I can help you, but I'm not going to shave. I'm retired. I'm done shaving, right? And so the person didn't know who I was, and he was out there. We just finished redoing the street, and he was already painting. So I said, hey, what are you painting? Why are you painting? I said, oh, I'm going to park right here. I said, okay, do you have a permit? And leave me alone. You know, he's telling me, leave me alone. You know who you were talking to. I'm like, okay, fine. So then I called my officers, and I told them, oh, go get some more paint and paint it back white, because you cannot do that. They have to have a permit. We do provide permits if you live in a location, if you have some type of disability, you cannot walk very well, you have any type of issues, and you have to park close to your house. You can pay for that space if you don't have a garage, but you have to provide medical evidence that you actually need it. Okay, because people go up there and they look like they go to the gym every day, do jumping jacks, and they say, I want to pay for my parking. We're not going to give it to you.
Hello.
Hiyo.
Thank you very much for being here. It's been very helpful. I have a couple of questions. Earlier when you were talking about delegation, is that the DIF, D-I-F? No. Could you please tell me what their services are, and also the services for expats at the Centro de Salud? There's one on Ramon Velasquez in San Antonio.
Correct.
And I'm just wondering what they provide to expats. Thank you.
Not a problem. There's three questions into that one, okay? Delegación is just an office space within each town that handles different complaints. DIF, D-I-F, it's kind of like a social security office, you can understand me, where they provide services, education, they deal with, I mean, if you want to get a placard for your handicapped vehicle, you can go to that location. If you've been abused by your husband and your husband hits you, they can provide you with some help there. They have classes for cooking, they have classes for sewing, they teach you different crafts. So it's an entity of the government, from the federal government, that responds to the municipal, where they provide help with different stuff. Therapy, they do all kinds of stuff. They have classes for exercise, and anyone can go there. You don't have to be a Mexican citizen. You can walk up in there. You might have a little problem communicating with them if you don't speak Spanish, but you can have that. They can render you the aid you need if they have it. and the other one for the clinical areas. You can go to those clinics, man. We have once in a while, we have, for example, you gotta get your flu shot. They're provided for free at those locations. Anyone can walk in there, okay? It's there, but at the same time, it's not something that you probably will gonna be used to, because in Mexico, the resources are limited, as you will find out. That's what I found out. The resources are limited, so there's not a lot of stuff there that can provide you with some help. But if they have it, they will provide it to you. Microphone? Here she comes.
Thank you. Yeah, so far from what I hear, I think you are an excellent addition to the community. My question in regards to the cards that you have only a limited number. Would it be possible to pass it around and I can just take a picture of it? Yeah.
Definitely, he's doing that now.
Okay. The smaller ones you also had with you. Oh yeah, okay, great, thank you.
Or we can leave one up here when we're done, and you guys can take a picture of it.
Thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
I understand that DIF is the place to go if there's some suspected child abuse in the area. And I'm wondering, one, if that's the best place to go, or if you have another suggestion. And what's the procedure if it was reported?
Okay, a complex question. Okay, first of all, we need to define what's child abuse, okay? Because when I grew up here in Mexico, I was abused severely by my father. But I turned out all right, because he believed in spanking my butt every time I misbehaved, and I was a bad child. I was a misbehaving child. Now, we come from different areas, we have different perspectives, so what may be abuse to you, it may not be abuse here. So it just depends if it's sexual abuse, if it's spanking, if it's screaming, if it's not doing. So, but anytime you have a question or anything like that, if especially with children, my number is right there. I can take care of it. I'm also the liaison with the U.S. government, where if we have any type of complaints when it comes to sexual abuse, I know who to contact in Guadalajara at the consulate. I have direct numbers with them. Once they found out I was a former cop, they kind of, here buddy, I need you to help. And since I work at the government here in Chapala, all those complaints come to me, okay? But it just depends the severity of the complaint.
You want to know, a question about the sidewalks. What, they suck? What is the?
Yes, yeah, they do.
What's the question about the sidewalks?
I do agree with you.
Hang on. You're going to talk about the sidewalks?
Huh?
No, I'm just trying to, what's the question about the sidewalks?
What would it take to get them as nice as the Chapala sidewalks?
What would it take them to get as nice as the Chapala sidewalks?
I think the easiest way, you need to move to Chapala. I'm trying to be funny on that sense, but let me tell you why, okay? Ajijic, as you know, now is a magic town in Jalisco. Anytime you want to make any type of changes to the current construction that it's in Ajijic, now the state is involved with it. Okay, we learned that the hard way because someone tore down a building and then created another one, and the state came down and closed his building. So any type of changes, we have to get them approved. We have to do certain things. You got to remember that Ajijic was a town that there were no cars back then. There was for carriages, for horse-drawn vehicles. Now we have humongous vehicles that have to go through here. So that's why the streets are so narrow in some areas. We're not going to change the town for that. We have made improvements. Our government and this administration, we have tried to make improvements to the streets in Ajijic. If you look at Colón, we changed it, we put something firmer. Just the sequel right here, we have people from Ajijic that says, no, we cannot do that because Ajijic is a certain way and you gotta have cobblestones. Even though they're not, it's just different opinions. So we have a lot of fighting back and forth. We did Ocampo, which is not on the other side of Six Esquinas, and we put adoquin just like this, with the marks. We almost had a riot because people were complaining on Facebook and all over the place that we're not happy. So every time you make a decision, there's always going to be an action and a reaction to it. So in Ajijic, unfortunately, we cannot change because of the different elevations. For example, if you go in front of La Plaza, where the delegation is located, the sidewalk is probably 40 centimeters tall. And in other areas, yes, you have it maybe 3 inches tall, right here in this 6 de Septiembre, where the water sits. So to answer your question, ma'am, it is difficult to make the changes to get them just like Chapala.
Okay, everybody, lovelies, we only can take a few more questions, but what's really important, wait, stop, listen to me. Please listen to me. I'd like everybody to be quiet because what's happening is lots of little conversations are happening, understandably, because there's a lot of juicy stuff we're learning here. So please be quiet, unless you're on the mic, and we'll take a couple more questions, and then they'll be available standing here afterwards, and you can come up and ask your questions.
Okay, thanks. Hi, Maureen.
Hello.
Nice to see you again. And since this is sort of you've already talked about this and this is kind of your expertise, I have a couple more questions about parking. We have a very specific issue right here in the neighborhood of LCS, because right up here on this corner, there's a very tiny space there. Well, people park right up to the corner. So if you could explain the legal distance that you can park from a corner and actually enforce it, especially on this corner, because people, vehicles can't make the turn around the corner when people park right, sometimes even past the corner. I see that all the time. And the other thing is specifically about Colon. Now that they've redone it, supposedly there are signs that say no parking on Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays.
Correct.
They enforced that in the beginning. Now they don't. The last 2 weeks that we've been here, there's cars parked there, there's no cones, there's no officers. So what's the deal, and can they fix the sign so that it actually corresponds with reality? Because the last block there's supposed to be no parking whatsoever anytime.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, answer for the first question. What's the legal distance that you can park? As you can see right here in the very corner of this street, which is Marcos Castellanos, correct?
Yes.
And the 6 de Septiembre, which is right outside when you first come out, there's a humongous planter that was put there to avoid people from parking there and allow the people to turn. But like anything, you cannot control what other people do. They park anywhere. I mean, they park on the sidewalk. They think they own the street. Oh, I'm not going far. I'm just going to go pick up some tortillas, or I'm going to go do this, or I'm going to go do that. It's not important. Your life is not important to them. People are very selfish. So let me clarify that. If it's not marked, you can park in the corner, but you got to be conscious whether or not somebody can make a turn. Okay, and you got to not think about a guy on a motorcycle or a little bitty car, a little smart car. You got to remember that people drive through here with the humongous trucks with Coca-Cola, which we try to stop, with gas, with all kinds of stuff. The trash, that's the biggest problem in Ajijic. We have a lot of complaints when I was in transit that people just park, they don't care, and the trash cannot be collected. And then we tow the vehicle, and of course it's going to be the benefit for the mayor because you towed my car. That was one question. Question number 2, Colon, from La Plaza to El Malecón. The mayor created that. We wanna. Okay, the way of the future, as you know, if you get to travel, is pedestrians first. Okay, and that's what we try to establish. And we got a lot of stack because we started creating that. Because people that have businesses in that location, they want to park in front of their business because they don't want to walk too far. Instead of allowing someone else to park there so they can benefit from people walking. When people walk, they see more stores. they create more stuff. So we changed the bottom street, we made no parking at all. And then I installed all those signs that you were mentioning, Friday and Saturdays and holidays. You cannot park there because we used to tow your vehicles. Unfortunately, I cannot answer for that department anymore because they got a new guy there and there's different priorities now. But yes, they can, anytime you park there, people, they can tow your car and they can find you. So the best way to do that is don't do it. Especially if it's marked, because it's marked very well. I put all the signs up myself because I wanted to make sure they were visible and I wanted to make sure, I even brought my own tools out. So, because we don't have the resources. I asked for a ladder and I said, what's that? Honestly, I'm not joking, I'm serious. It was bad. I mean, we have a department that does all that stuff and we put different signs. We did it in Colón, the one-way signs and the directions, because if you drive around Ajijic, usually you can go by the way the vehicles are parked. But, okay, this must be this way, or this is going and this coming. But sometimes you get some streets, it's like, what the heck? Okay, so I hope I answered your question.
Thank you.
I know you have lots of questions, and what Steve and I just had a quick chat, is that maybe it would be wonderful to have a town hall where we really have the opportunity to ask every question. It's open circle, we're 15 minutes over time, which has been just absolutely fine. These two are going to stay here for a little bit and we'll answer your questions. That will allow us to clean up and do the other things. How many of you would be interested in a larger forum where you can learn more and ask more questions? Is it of interest here? Looks like we've got an interest. Okay, so maybe we can get a bigger forum for you.
Yes, I knew that this
Thank you
wasn't
so
going to be
much.
enough.
Yeah.
Because one question comes up with another. But like I said, my number is there. Send me a message, and I will answer your question the best I know how.
Thank you so much, everybody.